Good morning. We are now on the 5th Sunday of Easter, and I think our gospel for this 5th Sunday of Easter is very fitting and pertinently relevant to our situation nowadays. Relevant in a sense, we are worried and we are anxious of so many things. And our worries were the cause of our anxieties. Our worries were the cause of our stress, the cause of our tensions, and sometimes the cause of our fears. Our hearts were troubled like the disciples because we do not know where to go. We're troubled because we do not know the way. We are confused, we are misled, and sometimes we are deceived by the world. The gospel for today is starting with this line, do not let your hearts be troubled. In layman's term, the Lord is telling us today, hey, people of Malay, don't worry. Why is that? I do not know if you believe with this one, but I firmly believe, because this is my experience, that 99.9% of the things we worried about don't happen. Why? Because worry is a misuse of imagination. Worry is a failure to trust God. And take note, worry does not prevent disaster. Worry does not prevent problems. It prevents joy. And are you not aware that today is the tomorrow we worried about yesterday? I say it again. Today is the tomorrow we worried about yesterday. The message of the gospel is very clear. Place your trust in Jesus. If you have a US dollar, it's always put in their money there, in their bill. In God we trust. Place your trust in Jesus. If you are confused, trust the Lord. Because the more we trust God, the less worries we will have. What are your worries? Finances? Relationships? Job? Name it. Spiritual dryness? Today, the Lord is telling me and you, believe in God. Do not let your hearts be troubled. Because He came here, if you remember last Sunday, our gospel, He said, I came to give life to the fullest. If we trust the Lord, meaning to say, we surrender to Him our worries because we believe He is in control. That's why when we are worried so much, it is a manifestation of a failure in trust in the divine providence. And what's the connection of our first reading in our gospel? When we trust the Lord, nobody will be left behind. When we trust the Lord, nobody should be neglected. The needs of all those who are in need will be provided, especially the widow. Because the widow during this time, they are the poorest of the poor. And second point, what is also interesting here, the gospel mention of dwelling places. And it says, and I quote, in my Father's house there are many dwelling places. I am going to prepare a place for you, so that where I am, there you may be also. I love the line, so that where I am, there you may be also. Meaning to say, this is a very consoling word. This is a very consoling word, because there is a room for you and for me, prepared by God for us up there. Why? Because the deepest desire of God is to bring us to heaven. The greatest plan of God is our salvation. When God said, I am going to prepare a place for you, we are told, meaning to say, that we are part of God's plan. You are part of the plan of God. Amen? But the question to ask is this: is God part of your plan? The plan of God is to bring us to heaven. And in that eternity, Jesus promised us glorious eternity. And in that eternity, there is peace, there is complete joy, because there is no stress in heaven. This is very consoling, because every time God makes a plan, we are part of His plan. I am going to prepare a place. Can you please tell the person beside you, you know what? You are part of the plan of God. And the plan of God, and this is His promise, I am going to prepare a place for you. Meaning to say, hey, there is a paradise prepared for you up there. That's why don't worry. That no matter how bad things may go in our life, Jesus promised us glorious eternity. We are worried about wildfires, we are worried about relationships, we are worried so many earthly concerns. But the gospel, this fifth Sunday of Easter, is very consoling. He's telling us, do not let your hearts be. People of Malay, we are the center of the universe. You deserve to be happy. Why are you worried? It's because we fail to trust His providence. And He will provide. He will provide. All we need to do is believe. That's why in our second reading, when you believe, it is precious to you. That's why when I had a reading on something, I have a beautiful definition of faith. Faith, F-A-I-T-H, meaning to say, forward all issues to heaven. That's why Father Pio said, pray and don't worry. You are worried most probably because most probably you are not praying. Or you are praying, but you are not trusting. And finally, last Sunday, Jesus said, I am the gate. If you remember the gospel last Sunday, He said, I am the gate. But today, He is telling us, I am the way, I am the truth, and I am the life. Meaning to say, Jesus is the way to heaven. He is the access to eternity. And we do not go to heaven to see Jesus. We go to Jesus to find heaven. I say it again, we don't go to heaven to find Jesus, but we go to Jesus to find heaven. Because without Christ, we will be out of the way. Without Christ, we will be deceived by the errors of sin. Without Christ, life is meaningless. Today, Put your 101% to God. Pray and don't worry, because worry ends when faith in God begins. Those who put their trust in the Lord will never be disappointed.